Welcome to the lecture on Engineering Statistics and Linear Algebra. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about some of IID random variables and also about central limit theorem. So first we will see what is meant by IID random variable. So IID in the sense independent and identically distributed random variables. So in the sense, so in this one I'll be taking some group of random variables. So all the random variables will be having same PDF and same mean and same variance. So these kind of random variables will be called as an independent and identically distributed random variables, or simply we can call it as an IID random variables. So now I am going to discuss about some of IID random variables. So let the random variables x1, x2, x3 and so on, so etc. be an independent and identically distributed here. So this means that they have same PDF. So now let these IID random variables will be added in a single platform. Like I will be taking some variable z. I am going to add all these IID random variables in z. Like z is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus so on plus xn. So since they are independent and identically distributed, their mean and variance will be same. That is that is mxi will be equal to expectation of xy. We can denote it as mx. And sigma xi square will be equal to expectation of xi minus mxi whole square will be equal to expectation of x minus mx whole square, or will be equal to sigma x square. So all these are same for each random variable in case of IID random variables. So property for sum of IID random variables, prove that the mz will be equal to n times of mz, sigma z square will be equal to n times of sigma x square, and the characteristic function xi of omega will be equal to xi power n of omega. I can write it. The first one, the sum of IID random variables I am taking here. That is, I am taking z is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus etc xn. So we have the property like for z is equal to x plus y, I will be having the equation mz is equal to mx plus my. So consider mz is equal to expectation of z here. So I'm going to apply expectation for this complete equation. So I'll be getting expectation of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus etc xn. So since these all the random variables are independent, I can apply the expectation of linearity property, that is expectation of x1 plus expectation of x2 plus expectation of x3 plus etc expectation of xn. So this will be given by what? mx1 plus mx2 plus mx3 etc mxn. So I can replace this expectation of x1 as mx1. Now also I can replace this one as mx plus mx plus mx plus mx, since all the x1 x2 x3 till xn are IID random variables here. So since it is I'm taking for n times, so I'll be getting mz is equal to n times of mx. That is, mean of the random variable z will be equal to n times of the mean of the random variable x. So next one is I'm going to discuss about variance. So for z is equal to x plus y, I'll be getting the variance, that is sigma z square is equal to sigma x square plus sigma y square. So similarly for sigma z square for n independent random variable, that is sigma x1 square plus sigma x2 square plus sigma x3 square etc sigma xn square, it will be equal to what? Sigma x square plus sigma x square plus sigma x square etc sigma x square. So I can replace this one as n times of sigma x square. So I got the variance of z will be equal to n times of the variance of x. So next about the characteristic function, that is for z is equal to x plus y, I'll be having the characteristic function xi of omega will be equal to xi of omega with respect to x into xi of omega with respect to y. So now for some of the IID random variable, that is for n independent and identically random variables, the characteristic function is given by xi of omega with respect to z will be given by xi of omega into x1 into xi of omega into x2 into again xi of omega into x3 till xi of omega into xn times. So since all the xi's are independent and identical distributed random variable, I can replace all these variables as single variable, that is the sigma xi of omega at the random variable x, xi of omega at the random variable x, xi of omega at the random variable x for n times I'm taking like this. So I will be having the equation now. Xi of omega for the random variable z will be equal to xi of omega for the random variable x for n times. That is xi power n of omega with respect to the random variable x. So these are the three properties on sum of IID random variables. So next is central limit theorem. The statement for the central limit theorem is given by let x1, x2, etc., etc., xn be a sequence of IID random variables. So to prove this central limit theorem, I am taking some of the IID random variables in this case. So with mean m and variance sigma square. So let z is equal to x1 plus x2 plus etc., etc., xn. I'm taking the sum of IID random variables here. Then the PDF of some approaches will lead to the Gaussian PDF, and as n becomes arbitrarily large with n times of mean and n times of sigma x square. So in this case, if n is too large, so it leads to the Gaussian PDF. So we'll see how to prove this one. So to prove this the proof of central limit theorem, I am going to use the graphical proofs. I am going to use some certain graphs to prove the proof of the central limit theorem. So let me take the x1, x2, etc., etc., xn be a uniform random variables distributed over the interval a comma b. So since here I am applying the uniform distribution for the random variables x1, x2, xn, and these random variables are IID random variables also, the plot for the uniform distribution is given by like this. So this will be xi plane and this will be PDF. So if I plot the uniform distribution curve, it will become like this. So now, and also the mean of this uniform distribution is given by m is equal to a plus b by 2, and the variance is given by sigma square is equal to b minus a whole square by 12. This is for uniform distribution case. So now what I will do means I'm going to take I'm going to apply the uniform distribution for two IID random variables. So I'm taking the two random variables as x1 and x2. So if I apply the plot for x1, so I'll be getting the plot like this. And for the plot x2, the plot will be like this with the PDF and the random variable x1 with the PDF and the random variable x2. So if I multiply these two, since these two random variables can be multiplied with the property of the sum of IID random variables, it can be added. So I got the plot like this. So here I'm adding the two random variables, that is x1 plus x2, and the PDF of adding the two random variables, that is x1 plus x2. The curve will become like this. So similarly, I'm going to apply the plot for x3 and x4 curve. So same plots I'm going to use for the random variable x3 with the PDF f of x3 and the random variable x2 with the PDF f of x4. So if I multiply both the random variables curve plots, so the sum of the PDF, the plot will be given like x3 plus x4 will be given like this. So this is a plot for the sum of two random variables, that is x3 and x4. So now I'm going to add the random variables x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 along with the PDF of f of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4. So if I combine both the previous two curves, so the curve will be to this form. So this can be noted as it's a bell-shaped curve, like, and this is clearly a normal distribution or Gaussian distribution. So hence I'll be having the equation Qn is equal to Sn minus n into the mean of the random variable x divided by the standard deviation of x series into square root of n. So since in the Gaussian random variables, the expectation will be equal to 0 and variance will be equal to n. So if I apply the expectation for this curve, it will be obviously I will get 0 only, and the variance for this curve, it will be equal to unity, I will get it. So now if the limit n tends to infinity, so I am taking the n as large value here, that is the probability of the Qn is less than or equal to alpha will be equal to the CDF f of alpha. So where this f of alpha is a standard Gaussian CDF. So hence I can conclude that the CDF of the Gaussian random variable with mean 0 and variance 1, I got it. So next concept is averaging or law of large numbers. So now as n becomes large, mean and variance also get large in the direct proportion. So as I told in the previous concept in the sum of IID random variables. So if the values of the random variables are very large, the value of mean also will be multiplied of n times of that particular random variable. So same thing here also, as n becomes large, mean and variance also get large in the direct proportional to n. So this is clear from the equation mz is equal to nmx and sigma z square is equal to n sigma x square. So here for such large values of n, averaging will be considered. So that will be given by some random variable y is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus etc xn whole divided by n. So now for these kind of random variables, the mean of average of y is same as the mean of x. So that is mean of y will be equal to mean of x, I will get it, and the variance of y is will be given by 1 by n times compared to the variance of x. That is sigma y square is given by 1 by n times of sigma x square. So now we'll see how to prove those two properties. So the problem, the averaging of random variables for large n to the following, that is my will be equal to mx and sigma y square is equal to sigma x square by n. So now I am taking the random variable y here, that is y is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus etc xn divided by n. So this will be nothing but averaging of the random variables. So now if I simplify this, I'll be getting the equation like y is equal to x1 by n plus x2 by n plus x3 by n plus etc so on plus xn by n I will be getting. So now if I apply expectation for above equation, so I'll be getting my is equal to expectation of y is equal to expectation of all the random variables. Since all these x1, x2, x3 are IID are independent random variables, so I can apply the linearity property here. So I'll be getting expectation of x1 by n, expectation of x2 by n, expectation of x3 by n plus so on expectation of xn by n. So it will be equal to what? My will be equal to expectation of x by n plus expectation of x by n plus expectation of x by n plus so on plus expectation of x by n, since the x's are IID random variables here. So it will be equal to what? Mx by n plus mx by n till n times of mx by n I'm having. So if I add all this, I'll be getting the equation like n times of mx by n gets cancelled. I got the equation like my is equal to mx. So that is mean of the random variable y will be equal to the mean of the random variable x. I got it. So next is variance. That is sigma x1 square, sigma y square will be equal to sigma x1 square by n square plus sigma x2 square by n square plus sigma x3 square by n square and so on plus sigma xn square by n square will be getting. So since here the all x's are IID random variables, so I will be having sigma y square is equal to sigma x square by n square plus sigma x square by n square and so on till n times I'll be having here. So if I add all these n equations, I'll be getting n times of sigma x square by n square, where one n gets cancelled. The value will be given by sigma y square is equal to sigma x square by n. That is the variance of y series will be equal to 1 by n times of sigma the variance of x series. I got it here. Thank you.